It's time to let it flow. It's time to let it flow. Yeah, it's time to let it flow. Yeah, it's time to let it flow. It's time to let it flow. What's poppin'? Welcome to the next episode of Let It Phlo. Got some special guests today. Zay Hefner. What's good, bro?
What's going on with you?
Jon Wick. What's good, bro?
What's going on?
Yeah, that's right.
No, we come.
What it was, business, then we kick it.
Business, then we kick shit.
Facts.
Oh, hold my bad. Say it one more time.
Business, and then we kick shit.
Yes, sir. So how y'all doing?
I'm doing better than ever. I mean, that's just how I approach life for real. Every day the best day ever because I can't never let shit get me down.
For sure.
Facts.
So how do you do that? Like, how do you never let shit get you down?
I mean, I just approach everything from like a higher perspective for real. So how other people, they might look at it like they take wins and losses. I can't lose. Even if it don't necessarily go my way, it's just a learning curve for me. So I'm just learning from everything instead of looking at it as a loss. So say you could have a game of basketball. Somebody might lose. To me, if I was in that same game of basketball, I'm looking at it like, okay, now I know I got to get my handles more right. I know I got to get my shot a little better, you know? So next time I come at, I'm going to do way better than I did that time, but it's never no loss to me.
It's only a loss if we don't learn a lesson.
Exactly.
For sure. 100%. You know, but you could also, do you learn from your wins as much as you learn from your losses?
Of course.
Because a lot of people get the big W and they just move on to the next thing and not really learning from the win. That's how you keep winning.
Yeah, and it's always a lesson to be took from anything, whether it's a win or a loss, because every step of life is literally learning. That's what life is. You experiencing and you learning.
Exactly. So you learn and then you approach it a different way the next time, a better way. You know, and I feel like, I said it before, I feel like any win is just a whole bunch of losses sewn together in the perfect way. And that's what a win, like somebody who's a winner, someone who's successful. They lost a lot of times, but every time they lost, they came harder the next time. They learned their lesson. And, you know, the bigger your goal is, the more losses you're going to have to take.
Yeah.
Like, if your bar is really low, then you might not have to lose that much to make it there. But if you're trying to get somewhere big in life, and you're going to have to take a whole lot of losses.
I mean, shoot, they say 2L, make what?
Yeah, two L's make a W. Exactly.
Yeah.
2 L's make a W. Facts. You know, and it's gonna be more than 2 though.
And it's like, long as you looking at life like that, how could you ever lose, really?
Yeah. So it is all perspective, for sure. If you focus on the negative, and then you're only gonna find negative. Whatever you focus on is what you find, like manifestation, or it's just law of attraction. Like, if you're always saying negative things, then negative things will always come. But if you're always saying positive things, and then positive things will come. And if the negative things do come, you're so positive that you don't even let it bother you. You don't give it no attention. Because negativity only exists with where there's attention. It doesn't go places where no one's paying attention to it. If they'll leave. They're going to go somewhere else where they can get attention. So if you don't give it attention, then it won't stick around.
Facts, and that's exactly why I say, like, I live every day like the best day ever. Because as long as you're doing that, I feel like, same way you just said, law of attraction. Exactly what you put out is what you're going to bring in. So when you feel like every day is the best day ever, you're naturally going to attract better days. Each day is going to be a better day just because that's what you're putting out. And you letting the world know, the universe know, the Most High know, this is what I would like to receive. This is the energies that I would like to receive in my life. Versus if you just looking at the negative aspects of everything, I'm like, oh, all he think about is negative shit. So we going to throw him more negative. Because that must be what you like. That's all you focus on.
Exactly. It's like the stuff that you say holds power. You know, if you're always saying, because a lot of people talk about manifestation, they're like, oh, I want $1 million. Oh, I want to have a better life. But they don't realize that those days where you said, this is going to be a bad day. All those times you're like, oh, we're going to be late. We're not going to make it. Or, oh, we're not going to have enough money to do this. Like, you're not. We're going to be late in the rent. And it's like a weekend in the month. If you say that, it's going to happen. You're manifesting negativity.
Exactly.
But if you say positive shit, that's the way more of a chance that you're going to have positive shit happening.
I wanted to land, like, that was so fast. Like, I wanted to land right there because that's just like in the same statement, you could say, like, lies can't exist without the truth. You know what I'm saying? In
Mhm.
order to tell a lie, it has to contain a little bit of truth. If it don't have no truth in it, it can't exist. What's the analogy? Giving it energy is what makes it exist. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you give it no energy, it can't exist. It can only exist with truth. What is truth? Righteousness, real shit. What's lies? Fake, fuck shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like that. That's very true.
For sure.
It can't exist if you don't give it energy. And a lot of people have a hard time not giving energy. Like negativity. And I'll break it down to you. Like it gets deep. Why do people like negatives? Like I'll ask you, why do you think that negative people or why do you think that people are more drawn to negativity than positivity?
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like to an extent it's even deeper than just that being the thing that somebody likes to live in because you ever think about the Matrix?
Mm-hmm.
That the Matrix might really just be real and that a lot of people exist in the Matrix and that's what the Matrix would like for people to exist in. And then what you see with a lot of people, like a lot of people who exist on that higher frequency is because they broke out of it. Even some people, they might not even be fully aware of what they doing. Like, say for example, you might have somebody, they make music and they can't see themselves just working a regular job. So they're like, I gotta go for what I feel in my soul. They broke out of the Matrix because the Matrix, they literally teach you, go to school. When you go to school, they literally teaching you how to work for them. You get up early, you do what they say, you do it how they say to do it, and hey, we'll reward you for that. And that's the Matrix right there. So when you break out of it, you naturally just add a higher energy off back. Even for the people who fully not aware of the fact of what they doing to that fullest extent, they still doing it. Versus once you break out of it and you aware of it, or you at an even higher level with it. And most people, they exist in that lower level of energy, just feeding off of negativity because they don't even realize, like, oh, I can go for what I love in life. I can do it. What I see for myself, I wouldn't have these thoughts if I couldn't do it, but they don't think like that. So it's like they naturally just gravitate towards what the Matrix is throwing at them.
Yeah, 100%. So basically, what you're saying is like the movie The Matrix is it's like an example. Like it's showing us that it's not literal. You know what I'm saying? It's an analogy of we're stuck in this thing where we're all being programmed from a childhood, from a child. Everything we know is programming. The language we speak, everything we do, the way we move, the way we eat, what we eat, all that's been programmed into us. And it gets deep. You know what I mean? Like the Matrix would be, for example, would be the program that we're given. But it's very specific though. Like when you said like we get a job and we go to school, they don't teach us like we were talking about trading before the podcast. They don't teach you how to trade. They don't teach you how to like be a business owner. They don't teach you how to get an LLC or how to do taxes. They teach you like the stuff that makes you a really good employee. But this isn't a coincidence. Like this program, this school curriculum was built by the Rockefellers, by the people who are the banking systems, the ones who are in control of the money. So the only way to have corporations running, now this is about to change now, but the only way to have a corporation running is to have a whole bunch of employees that show up every day and they do their job and they do a good job. And that's the only way. So you train a bunch of people to be really good. They're smart, so they can, they can fill any kind of job. You know what I'm saying? No matter what. Depending on the grades, they can fill. They got jobs for everybody. They got people who could be a rocket scientist and everything. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but at the end of the day, it's all a programming that's put into us to make us this way. The only way you could break out of the matrix is to live a different way. Like in the movie, he busts out the matrix and now he's in a new world. He can finally see the world for what it really is. It's like almost like they found a new way to create a whole bunch of people to work. But here's the crazy thing. We got AI coming out.
Exactly.
Like, we're not going to need people to do the jobs, most of the jobs that we have. And that's when shit starts to be like, what's next? And what do you feel like is next?
I feel like it's a whole lot of high frequency shit next, and that the Matrix, as we know it, the world as we know it, where everybody been programmed to live this way, and it's those people at the top, that 1% who they hold in everything, and they only want a few drops to come out to the people. All of that's about to end, and that power that they thought they had, that they thought and felt like they was gonna hold and never give to the people, is not gonna be in their grasp no more. Like they literally losing it every moment that goes by.
You know, It seems that way. But you know what? I look at it like this. They have so much power. Why would they give up that power?
'Cause they got no choice to. How I look at it,
From who's stopping them?
the high frequency energy is the most high. Like how I look at it, I literally tell you like the people at the top, those are literally low vibrational parasites to everything around them, everything around us. They literally program this world to operate out of low frequency negative energy. Even from the fact that you think they sell people water, they sell people fruit. These
Right.
things exist all around us in abundance. But they
Mm-hmm.
held it to themselves and made this false perception that you got to go work for this. It's already here, but they program people from so young, generations after generations after generation, that you have to work for this.
Right.
It's all around you. You can go outside, literally see a spring of fresh water, but nah, go to the store, get that bottled water, buy it from us. That same energy you put in at a job working to make this money, it's coming right back to us. Spend this money with us, and that's gonna end because even in the Bible they're talking about how it's gonna be this war, and it's gonna be negative versus good, and we literally seeing that play out in front of us because that's what's going on.
We see the files coming out, you know, and it's like the only reason why I said that because like I saw this video yesterday, the other day, and I was just like, it's like why would like unless there's some sort of like force of good that we don't know of, we're not seeing it. So that's why it's hard to understand like what is the high vibration like how is that? How are they fighting bad?
May I interject?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
ahead. I don't know how deep you about to go, but go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
From a scientific standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
think about it like this.
But get loud though. Let them hear you for real.
Think about it like this. Okay. The faster that something vibrates, first of all, they tell you heat does what? Heat rises, right? So think about it from a liquid standpoint. You got ice that's real slow, right? So I mean the atoms they vibrating, but they vibrating slow, right? Then you go liquid. What happened? The vibration increased because the heat increased. So it did what? It rised. So you seen it go from solid to a liquid. Then once it rise again, it go to a vapor. So I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or gas. After the gas, I was smoking. Okay? If you smoke, you'll notice that after it starts to like dissipate, it look like it disappeared, don't it? But it's not gone. Cause you can still smell it, all type of shit, right?
Right.
Because what happened? When the vibration moves too fast, the particle arrangement separates. That's why I went from solid to a liquid to gas. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening is the vibration of the planet is rising high enough for us to be able to actually visualize and see what's actually happening. What's actually happening. This is why they hide the sky. This is why they poison the food. This is why they lie in school about history, religion. This is why they gotta lie. This is why they gotta do everything they gotta do. All these programs, this is why. They're scared of us. Peace to all the high vibrational people on the planet.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I mean, I feel like there's definitely a war going on, a spiritual war that we're not knowing about. It's not going to be in the news, but I will say that I wouldn't be surprised if all this is going to be some sort of, plan to. Because right now the system's breaking. We're seeing the system falling apart. What if this is a plan to bring in a new agenda, an AI government, and say, look, obviously these politicians are getting corrupted. Obviously there's these files coming out. What if we go ahead and make it clear that we need a way to fix it, a solution, and the solution is to bring in an AI government, because the AI, they don't get corrupted. They don't go on the island. So it's like, that's why I say, like, I wonder if it's all just a smoke and mirrors type of situation, and they want us to think that. But I want to hope, though, for what he said, that's not the case, that there is something going on, and that's what we fight for.
Yeah.
Both me and you, is just to bring awareness to these types of things, you know. So that's why I want to get into the next topic. So, but that I definitely feel what you're saying.
Yeah,
And that was a good example too. That was a good breakdown.
and just the last thing I want to say, they will fight. They will not go down without fighting. They will not give it up.
Right.
It has to be taken, just like they did. They didn't ask for nothing. Peace.
You put me up a little bit of that.
Yeah, sure. So basically, one of the things I want to talk about tonight is, like, there's a Bible scripture that I came across, right? Everybody's been talking about all this stuff that's going on. Do you believe in the Bible?
I do. I'm gonna say that I'm just fully religious. I'm not religious,
Yeah.
but it's
Me neither.
definitely truth to the Bible. Like, it's
Yeah.
not fake stories.
Yeah.
It's real things that's going on, and they play out across many different forms. So, like, same way, it's the reason why the Bible, the Quran, like all of these different religious texts, they all tell the same story. But even if you look at it from a broader point of view, the mythologies, they tell the same stories.
Exactly.
Then comic books, like literally the media, like the movies, they tell the same story. You just literally have to see it for what it is and decode it sometimes. But
100%.
that's what everything.
Yeah, and I'm not religious either. I'm just spiritual. I believe in God, but I don't believe in religion. Me personally, nothing against it though. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
facts.
For the people, I feel like there's many paths to God. This is my opinion. A lot of people would disagree with that, but I feel like you just got to choose your path. You know, if you choose religion, that's cool, or you can have a relationship without it. But this scripture right here was interesting because everybody's trying to figure out, like, you know, just to jump straight into it. I want to make sure we got at least 10 minutes in before we started going crazy. So there's a lot of rumors, conspiracies, call it what you want, about people eating babies. Okay, and I DM'd you the other day. I said I want to talk about this topic, and the reason why I said that is because I came across this scripture. So I'm gonna read the scripture, and we can try to break it down and see if we can understand, like, what the hell they're really saying right here.
Yeah, big.
So okay, so
Niggas, hey man, peace.
That nigga John. Peace. Peace and
okay,
ashe.
so hear the word of the Lord, you kings of Judah and people of Jerusalem. This is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says. Listen, I'm going to bring a disaster on this place that will make the ears of everyone who hears of it tingle. For they have forsaken me and have a place of foreign gods. They have burned incense into the gods, and neither they nor their ancestors nor the kings of Judah ever knew. They have filled this place with the blood of the innocent. They have built the high places of Baal to burn their children in the fire as their offerings to Baal. Something I did not command or mention, nor did enter my mind. So beware, the days are coming, declares the Lord, when people no longer call this place Topeth or the valley of Ben Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter. In this place I will ruin the plans of Judah and Jerusalem. I will make them fall by the sword before their enemies, at the hands of those who want to kill them. I will give their carcasses as food to the birds and the wild animals. I will devastate the cities and make it object of horror and scorn. All who pass by who are peeled and the scorn of because of all his wounds. I will make them eat the flesh of their sons and daughters. They will eat one another's flesh because their enemies will press the siege so hard against them to destroy them. So in the Bible, there was a curse put on the people to eat their own people, babies, their sons and daughters. Okay? So, you know, when you break it down, when you look into what this means is basically God has cursed the people to do this. And by doing this, we are continuing to stay cursed. Okay? If we're cursed to eat our sons and daughters, and we continue to do so, we will remain cursed as people in God's eyes. So what does that mean? That's what they're doing to us. They're feeding us this. to keep us in this constant state of low vibration, like what he said, which would keep us without that. That's why it's so hard for us to get the blessings that we're supposed to get. That's why it's because we are, and this is just one example. Like people are, the biggest question is, why are they feeding us babies? For what reason? What benefit? Or human meat in general? What's the benefit? And then you look into if you want to look into the Bible, if that's one of the ways you would find information like this is what you find, is this scripture, or where they were told that they were being cursed by, because they were giving children in rituals, which is the type of stuff that's going on right now. This is what they were doing back in the day to Baal, or to the devil, or whoever a devil, and they're sacrificing children, which is most likely what's happening right now. And what does God do? God curses them and tells them that they have to eat. They have to eat that.
Yeah.
So we're being forced to be in this constant state of cursed because we've been eating this. And this has been going on. Like, if you look into it, this isn't new. This has been going on. Not just in America. I'm talking about before America. They've been doing this type of stuff. So what you think about that?
So I want to ask you a question. I usually don't answer questions with questions, but have you ever heard of the phrase where people say, like, the God in the Bible is Satan? Have you ever heard that?
I have heard it.
And it will make a lot of sense that the people who came and they took this land of Canaan, and they talk about all of these battles that took place. Literally, if you look up 1333, it's a passage where they talk about how Moses sent scouts. They came and spied on the promised land. They looked like grasshoppers in the image of the giants who walked those lands. There were cities. They knew that they would have to fight and everything. So have you ever thought about the fact that was the war in heaven took place on this planet? Because heaven is a mindset and not just a place. Because
absolutely.
Even when you think about space, UFOs, low vibrational energies, it's stories about aliens doing evil things. So obviously, the Most High will have the same things. If low vibrational parasitical energies got UFOs, people don't think that the Most High got that shit, that God got that shit. The people who vibrate high have the same things. So that war that took place, it was the war in heavens on this planet. And the reason why they were spying, why Moses sent them and everything, is literally because the God was Satan, but Satan was on this planet, and he was. It gets so deep. It gets so deep. We were the giants. The giants was us. So when you hear stories about dinosaur bones, it's literally just huge people. It's stories all about huge people. Lincoln gave a story about how giants walked these same lands where the Niagara Falls is, but not those giants no more. What happened to them? It was just a fall in frequency, just like anything else. If you fall in frequency, you will literally shrink. You see it with Hulk. You see it with Mario. They grow, they shrink. But it was that war that took place, and now we literally are in the dark ages, basically, where Satan has been ruling and people don't even realize it. That's why it is the Matrix, because these same people at the top, they are the ones who do these evil things. They have to make sacrifices. That's why so many people with these stories about how, they wanted to make it to this level, but I would have had to sell my soul, so they didn't do it. Or you got the ones who did do it, but it's like people never really want to talk about those things. But it's real. Who are they making sacrifices to? If that low vibrational energy is not real, if Satan was fake, who are these sacrifices going to? People wouldn't do these things for so long
100%.
if it wasn't real.
I mean, if there's evil, and just like he said, if there's evil, there's got to be good. For evil to exist, then good has to exist. There has to be both sides.
Yeah.
And I like what you just said about the vibration of the giants while we're so small now. I never thought about it like that. I believe, too, also, because if you look at any type of museum, you're going to see these dinosaur bones. But you're going to notice they're all molds. Like 1 or 2 bones will be the actual bones. So it's like, everybody needs to question that alone. Nobody has a full dinosaur built. Why? But I believe that we had giants as well. I don't believe that there were dinosaurs. And I will say this, just to get into what you were saying, I feel like maybe what you're saying is true, but I look at it more like this. It was written and it was taken over. You know what I'm saying? It was taken over because the translations and the people were translated. Obviously, there was a lot of ill intention. So there's a lot of mistranslations. So it's like it could look that way. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it was just written that way. Who really knows? But the point I was making was more so like clearly there's some curses being made in the Bible that we can see that have to do with cursing them to eat their children. You know, and these are we are descendants of these people in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter, there's all kinds of different tribes or however they look at it, but you know, we all come from the same people. You know, at the end, if you go back far enough, you're gonna find that we all came from Africa, right? So we're all being cursed with this shit as a society. Now that everything's so many years passes, so many descendants. So I just feel like we're being cursed by the same people. At least the people who are cursing us, which I feel like is the Jews. So if we want to break it down, who's really in control? You know, I don't want to get too deep, but I just feel like that's who we're talking about in the Bible, though. It was the Jew. That's who they're cursed. Who's being cursed here? So this is where these things come from. Like I feel like these rituals with the babies and stuff like that. So I mean, we break it down. And why did I say that? Why am I even bringing it up right now? Why is this even relevant? Because of the Epstein files. I don't even want to say that, but I already said it. Because of that,
Hey, it is what it is.
yeah, because of that, we're getting information that's saying that they're eating babies. They're calling jerky baby meat or human meat. So it's being known that this is happening. This isn't, because, you know, we heard the theories. So it's like people are saying that when you go to fast food, like they're serving us human meat.
Yeah.
You go to the store, and that shit can be falling apart a little weird sometimes when you cut it up. Like, you're like, what is this? Like, it's not what we think it is, the ground meat. Like, for me personally, I quit eating meat.
Yeah, me too.
How long did you quit?
November of 2024, I ain't ate it since.
Wow.
Fell all the way back from it.
So what do you eat what do you eat as far as protein?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like even when they say protein, I feel like that's programming to make people believe that you have to eat meat. Because even when people eat cows, they tell you how much protein those cows got to offer. Those cows don't eat nothing but grass. So where they getting their protein from? Where are they amassing all of this protein from? When the same nutrients they tell you need from the animals, it literally comes from the plant. The planet provides everything that you will ever need in life without you having to lay harm to any of the animals that walk on it.
I like that.
That's from my perspective, though. That's just how I feel about it.
Well, I mean, it's a good point. You know, like maybe we don't need it. Like we think that we have to eat protein. Like I feel like it's addictive. I feel like either it's programming / addictive. Like, and that's why I start to wonder. I start asking ChatGPT questions like, is human meat addictive? It's like cannibalism. What if there's an addiction in it? And that's one of the reasons why everybody, because like when you eat a meal, like when you first quit, like today, I quit like 2 days ago. It's like you feel like you need to eat meat. You're like, where's the meat? Like it ain't a real meal without meat. You know, that's pretty much what we all feel like. Maybe it's programmed, maybe it's a little bit of addiction.
So let me ask you a question real quick. Have you ever thought about the fact that all of these people at the top, the so-called quote-unquote elites, what if they was just master sorcerers? And that's why people feel like they need to do all of these different things that they do, all of this different shit, from working jobs to eating meat to living the way that they tell them to live to literally. Have you ever paid attention to the fact that when you celebrate a birthday, people literally get around? A lot of times they dim the lights, you put the candles in the cake, they sing a song. It's literally like a ritual. And they literally bringing about age because you singing a spell. It's literally a spell being sung. Like even Prince talked about, like somebody asked Prince, like, why you look so young? He literally told them, because I don't celebrate birthdays no more. I stopped doing that. And he, you know, they talking codes once they hit a certain level, but he was literally telling people like, it's a spell. It's an aging spell, because once you believe it, you're literally manifesting your body to age and to start. Basically, it's like a slow decay once you hit a certain point.
Wow. That's crazy. I never thought about that.
It
is a spell. Because every time you see any example of spells, they always got the candles and they put this a round cake. Think about it, it's a round. Well, so this could be rectangle, but a lot of the cakes are round. A wedding cake's round, most of them.
Yeah.
So it's like the biggest ritual, such as a wedding, is a round cake. You got candles.
Yeah.
Just like you do a round circle. With the candles.
Now let me make you think about this real quick. When something is circular, it literally allows the energy to flow through it. That's literally what it's for.
It's never ends. It's yeah.
So yes, literally, it never ends. It's just going around. Versus, think about the way they build houses. It's squares. The rooms are squares. Everything with a square is to hold and harness that energy. It stays there. It can't move. So that even goes into why they build buildings the way they do. Like when you look at old architecture, it was all of these different shapes. Nowadays, everything is a block. Cities look like power grids. It's not coincidence. So even with how you said standing in a circle is literally a spell, but these are master sorcerers. They program magic into every single thing around us, even the phone, even the TV screen, squares. It's all squares.
So I'm gonna break something down for you. I want you to tell me what you think. So I came up with this theory, right? And it kind of goes with what you just said. What if selling your soul isn't exactly what everybody says it is? What if it's a contract on your life? What if there's a way, and you can see it in the movies, what if there's a way to remove your soul from your body and have another soul enter your body and take control of it? Everybody thinks people are getting cloned, and maybe they are. Or maybe they're the same person with someone else behind the steering wheel. You get that contract, and they say, all right, here you go. We're going to sign you. You got 2 years to go ahead and live it up. We're going to give you all. That's why when you see them, when they blow up, they get all the big deals. Like, it's not everybody. It's just people who take it to that level. When it's like the hot, it's like, and then they're like, you got 2 years. And then they're like, all right, boom. There's a celebrity, somebody else who's about to die. Their soul can leave that body and take over your body. And you go into their body and you die. And the point is, these people could live forever. They just keep getting a new body over and over and over. And they're sorcerers in this perspective, but they've also been learning. If there is sorcery to learn, they've been learning it for thousands of years. Like, it's the same president every four times. Like, there's 4 presidents. They're just a new soul, new body with the same soul. Or it's the same president every time. It's like literally like that. And that's how they control the world. What you think about that?
I'm not gonna lie, that's basically like conscious transfer for real.
Yeah, conscious transfer.
They definitely do that in a sense. I won't say necessarily like that's what takes place every time somebody sells their souls, because I'm not gonna lie, get deep. But it definitely happens. Just like if you watch Get Out.
Yeah.
They literally show you
That's it.
somebody else taking the steering wheel of a body.
Exactly.
And even if anybody's watching this, if you want to go look it up, Kanye literally said, Get Out is about me.
Who said that?
Kanye. And if you notice, he ain't never been the same after a certain point. What if that's because literally it's somebody else behind that steering wheel?
And I think that's happening a lot. I mean, not everybody, like you said, but I feel like to get to a certain level, that's the contract. And I don't think they know it when they first get in.
Yeah, nah, because like, just think about it like this. They got to make it sound good.
Yeah,
just like he was saying, you can't tell a lie without telling the truth. So they might let you know what's going on, but they're going to throw them lies in there. They're going to make it seem like it's peaches and cream. Because once you made that deal, we got you now. But before that, we got to make it sound good. We got to lure you over here, make it seem like it's going to be, we got to make it seem like you're going to live it up. Like you're going to live your dreams out when whole time. We might give you a little window, but Shang Tsung, your soul is ours. That's literally how they coming for real.
Yeah. I mean, because, a lot of people don't realize that, I feel like. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but that could be the real definition of selling your soul, because you can get into the industry and not sell your soul, and that's why you see people not staying around long. They said no. They're like, nah, I ain't doing it. Oh, you want that? No. And they take your career away. They're like, all right, cool, you cut.
Yeah.
But the ones who did do it, that's why it's not everybody. It depends on what happens when that game. They'll give you some opportunity, like you said, to get you in there and be like, you'll start living the lifestyle. They'll give you a taste.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that shit tastes good. You know what I mean? They're like, all right, cool. Well, then here's the whole thing. You only get to live 2 years of this fame. Exactly. So we're getting your life ready for him because he wants that life. And he's old and he's ready for a new life.
Yeah.
And it's like this cycle of soul swapping.
So I want you to think about this. Just like how you was talking about selling your soul, it could just be like conscious transfer, basically.
It's exactly what it is.
But think about it like this: what if those same souls, like, I believe it can happen in many different forms. Like, I won't say, because I'm not gonna lie, once most celebrities, they not the same after a certain point. You can literally see,
You
like,
could tell something happened.
but on the other hand, think about it like this: like, you know how a lot of them, they might leave early, they might die early. What if that's what AI is? Siri, Alexa. What if that's the reason they got people names in the first place? Because those are literally souls trapped in phones, and that's why they got so much information. You ever thought about that?
That's interesting. I mean, do you think the animals have souls?
Yeah, of course, but I'm not gonna lie. It's certain animals I don't believe have souls. I believe. Have you ever heard of Yakub?
I have. I've seen you did a video or something. I wasn't sure who it was though.
Basically, if you ask me, Satan, Yakub, Prometheus, Marduk, the God of the Bible, Zeus, it's all the same person. And one of the things that he was doing, he was a mad scientist and he was creating. That's where, like, you ever seen those movies like Frankenstein and Human Centipede, and it's all of these different movies with that same theme of like a mad scientist who just make like crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I even believe that's why you got, like, think about a chicken, a turkey, the same birds they want people to eat. What if those was just soulless beings? Like, they were literally created in a lab somewhere. And that's the reason why they so different from other birds. Like, just think about it. Like, why do the birds that they want people to consume so much not even fly? And that might be like a question that most people be like, but it's like, think about it for real. Why don't they fly? Why don't you just see them in the wild for real? Like, you don't just, chickens, they can't really survive in the wild for real. Like,
No.
they would eventually just die off.
Yeah.
Where are all of these chickens coming from?
Damn.
They sell it everywhere. It's nonstop, infinite chicken. How? Maybe they just getting created in the lab though.
Nah, for sure. I think they are.
Yeah.
A lot of this chicken now is being created in the lab, and that's why we start asking the question before, like, what else they mixing in there now? If it's not a chicken that was grown, what is it exactly? Like, what are we eating and why? That's why I read that scripture.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are we eating it? Because everybody's saying we're eating human meat, and it's like, why? It's like, why did I read that scripture? Because I'm trying to let y'all know there is a reason. Like, there's a reason why. It's not like, oh, I guess because they just feel like doing it. Like, they need more meat, so they put human meat in there. I'm like, it just sounds dumb. Like, there has to be a reason why. And I feel like it's a curse they're putting on us.
Just like how we was talking about how the energies and frequencies and everything, if it really was chicken that's being lab created, that's low vibrational, that's negative energy. It's no way that could be positive energy coming from it.
Right.
So even when you think about GMOs, it's one phrase they always throw in people's faces, but now that everybody's starting to see, like, hold on, maybe this people they got people eating, or maybe this is lab-grown meat, clone meat. You are what you eat. They tell us that all the time.
They say you are what you eat. That's the exact thing. Like, why do they say that? Now, it was always weird when I was a kid. Like, what does that mean? You are what you eat.
Genetically modified. They literally modifying people's genetics.
100%.
And
It's because your soul sits in your solar plexus, and your solar plexus sits in your stomach.
say it again louder though.
Your soul sits in your solar plexus. Your solar plexus is at your core, or in your stomach. This is why you are what you eat. And genetically modified objects. It's not food. It's an object. This is an object. This is an object. Okay? Remember that. And it's genetically modified.
That's interesting. Yeah, I never thought about that. It's negative energy. That's what we're eating. I don't know if we've really ever eaten real, most of us. And that's why I'm going to start. If I do eat meat, I'm going to get it from an actual farmer.
Yeah.
That's the only way I eat it. But then again, you made a point. What are these anyway? What are these birds? We're eating the ones that don't fly. It's weird. Like, they obviously were not created in nature to just live. Because if they were, and then they wouldn't have lived. They would have never. They had to been created by man to begin with. But yeah, back to what we were saying about soul, animals with souls. I mean, so let me ask you this: Do you feel like when you die, you're dead? You feel like you go to heaven? You feel like, do you believe in I believe in reincarnation.
I believe in reincarnation and incarnation. Have you ever heard about star seeds?
I haven't really heard much about star seeds nor incarnation.
Okay, so it gets deep because even with the whole star seed, incarnation, reincarnation, incarnation is basically you choosing to come and inhabit a vessel on this planet.
Okay.
And star seeds, that's literally like, because they always told us we just on a floating rock in space. There's no life around us. None. We see UFOs all the time. The Pentagon, the government, they literally talk so much about UFOs. They got Congress meetings. They be on C-SPAN literally telling this information, but people don't watch it. People just don't listen. People act like they don't hear.
They got whole like briefings and stuff on the TV.
It's literally beings who come here to free the planet.
You think so?
Because if you ask me, the planet been on lockdown. I'm not going to force nobody to believe it. But if you ask me, the planet has literally been on the lockdown. That's why things are the way that they are, because we are in the aftermath of a war that took place for the planet.
For the planet?
And this is the aftermath of it. So
what, we won, humans?
Nah. We in the aftermath of it.
So we're here.
That's why you see, that's why you see all of these evil beings, because they literally harness the energy from the beings on the planet. And we in the aftermath of it. But, okay, it gets so deep because, like, even think about the moon. Have you ever heard about the moon just being basically a hologram and it recycles souls?
I have heard that before.
And that's why they tell people. Even when you pay attention to it, these people, they will never give you the right answers. They will never tell you the right shit. All they do is literally lie. They don't want the best for you. We see it now. Literally, anywhere you look. We just talking about the food. That's like a basic common decency is to, if you're going to sell us the food, at least let it be good for us. They don't even want that. They tamper with the water because,
like, it's so evil to be like the people we're supposed to trust.
Yeah.
You're tampering with the food and the water. Like that's like should be the highest crime possible.
You feel me?
Tamper with that. Like,
exactly.
Bro, what are you doing? Like,
yeah. So it's like, that's what that go back to my point though. The moon. Even when you look across all of these movies, all of these different shows, the music, go towards the light. Go towards the light. Why would they put that in there if it was for your highest good when we see nothing that they do is for our highest good? Unless maybe they recycling souls, and when you go towards that light, you literally getting shot right back down here, and that's reincarnation. When they choose where you going instead of you going home for real. Like, have you ever seen the movie Soul?
I'm not sure if I did.
It's basically a movie, and
Soul?
Yeah. And basically the dude on there, when he die and he go up there and his soul is transcending, he could have went towards the light because everybody was in line going towards the light, but he went the other way. And when he went the other way, he basically went home for real. Like, it was literally a whole different story. Like, he got to choose his path again versus everybody else. They just got shot back down here.
So you feel like heaven exists?
Yeah. But I feel like heaven is a mindset. Yeah. And I feel like we are multi-dimensional beings. So once you transcend, you can literally, they tell us it's universes, galaxies all around us. So why would life only be on this one planet? What's so special about this one planet?
Exactly. You know, I like that. I like that what you were saying about reincarnation. I mean, I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? As far as having the choice. Like, I also agree that heaven's a mindset. I feel like that we can live in heaven and hell right now. Like, I asked you at the beginning of the podcast, like, how you're doing. You said it's always a good day. You know what I'm saying? Right? So it's like, that's the decision to live in heaven. Heaven is not always, doesn't mean you have everything you ever wanted. It doesn't mean that everything's perfect. It means that your mindset is positive and ready for what's next. And as opposed to living in hell where it's like always negative. Everything's bad. Nothing's going to go good ever.
Exactly.
Like, that type of mindset is just basically living in hell. It's a choice. It's a perception. It's a perspective. Exactly. It's a daily choice. Because some days, man, you just feel like it's hell. You know what I'm saying? And it depends on how you take it. You know, you can learn from it,
Yeah.
or you could just live in it. So I definitely just, just stay in that vibration. So I definitely agree that heaven is a mindset. But about reincarnation, I don't know. That's a good point. You know, I haven't really that's a whole deeper level.
That's what I'm saying. It gets so deep that it's like you could spend a whole podcast talking about that one subject. So I'm not gonna go that deep into it because
Yeah.
there's a lot of things to talk about. But
Yeah.
something to think about.
Because for me, I was thinking, we just like not as to why, but we're reborn. You know what I'm saying? There's so many reasons to think that. Like when you see a baby and they're just like doing stuff that's grown as hell, and just like there's been things like a lot of people who remember past lives, but maybe it's not really what we were supposed to do. So I don't know what that other world would be. Like if we come back to here, or if we go to another place, what is the other place?
It's so many different planets out here. Like
So do you believe in, so if there's other planets out here, but you're saying you'll get through them through reincarnation, do you believe there's space is real?
now, I'm not saying you would get to those through reincarnation.
Okay.
I'm basically saying the reason people keep coming here is because you either incarnated or you reincarnated.
So basically your soul is stuck here.
Yeah.
You can't be, so basically you're saying, which is a good question that people may have about reincarnation. Can you reincarnate in another planet, another species, other than human? Like, would that be possible? You're saying we can't because we're stuck here in this soul catching loop. So you're saying that if the moon wasn't there, we might reincarnate another planet.
Yeah, but like once it gets to that point, basically what I'm saying is once you hit the moonlight, that's reincarnation. But you can incarnate if you go towards the other way instead of going towards
And
the light.
choose where you
would basically be going back home. You get to choose where you were supposed to come because a lot of people,
Okay.
how I look at it, they come here, but they forget that they chose to come here. And then you get fed so many lies during life that they tell you go towards the light, and boom, they got you because you never remembered you chose to come here. So now they telling you where to go, and you don't even remember. It's all of these other planets, all of this. That's where astral travel come from. You ever heard about astral traveling?
It's really interesting. I saw a couple podcasts about that. Like, it's just the fact that these people were able to go and see things that were hidden, like in a safe, for example, able to see numbers in the safe that they never seen, and then government highly something that you just can't get to. Not like they just looked at it the other day. Like you can't get to these places, and they're able to see it. I think that it might be true. Like it might be a real thing. What is it called?
You can call it either astral traveling, astral projection.
Yeah.
But astral projection is basically when you project out of this body, and once you astral project, your soul is free to travel.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many different places you could travel to.
You believe that?
Yeah, like even when you think about dreams, you think you just
What is a dream?
seeing the images.
Right.
How I look at it is alternate realities, different universes, different planets, different timelines, and you literally experiencing life outside the matrix. That's why things go by so quick. Like you can have a nap that was 30 minutes, but in that dream, a whole day went by.
It's like time isn't the same. That's crazy. Dreams are insane. Like, what the hell is a dream? Like, I try to look into that because, like, it could be us living a day in another alternate dimension version of us. And I ain't gonna lie, that whole theory about all these different dimensions, that shit be blowing my mind because I'm like, why? Like, because I'm one of the people like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell would there be a bunch of dimensions? It doesn't make sense to me. But a scientist could break it down and be like, well, this is why. Maybe it does make sense, but to me, it don't. But do you believe in space? Do you believe that we can travel into space?
Yeah, but to an extent, it's not exactly how they tell us it is from my perspective. Like,
Yeah.
you ever heard about the firmament?
Yeah, that's like, do you believe in the firmament? So how will we travel into space?
Because like when. Do you mean like astral projection or physically?
Like and getting a rocket and going, like, go ahead and take off.
See, I don't believe that's the way to travel for real because how I look at it, stars, not stars,
What are they?
portals to different galaxies, universes, dimensions,
So you would just have to,
timelines.
and you can travel that within the firmament.
How I look at it, like they literally feel they put the clouds and everything up because I don't know, depending on how deep the people who watching are into these type of rabbit holes, Clouds not real. They literally go up and spray skies every day.
The stars are actually inside the firmament. The sun is inside the firmament. The moon is inside the firmament. It's not outer space. They never went outer space.
Yeah. And me personally, I'm on the fence with it. Like, I don't like just believe one way or the other, but then I start looking into it. Because it's like, here's the one that really gets you, that makes you start to wonder, like, what he said. Like, why would we fake a moon landing? Okay. It's clear we didn't go to the moon. If you look, I mean, I'm not no expert. I'm not going to, this is my opinion. Like,
facts though, talk to him.
when you look into
lying.
it, like there's just too many questions to answer. Like all the video, they lost all the footage.
Yeah.
Like you lost all the footage, you lost all the dot, like the stuff they writ down, everything. Like they never went back. I'm like, if it was me or anybody else, they would have went up there and built some shit and try to figure out what's up, drilled up in there, see what was going on inside. Maybe you find some shit that could change, cure cancer or something, like
exactly,
like change lives, like, or a metal that is worth so much, like it's like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like they could use it to make a supercomputer, but you don't even look. You're like, nah, it's cool. We ain't gonna check all that. Like we know as humans, we looking for everything, but we never went back. Nobody's gonna do that crazy thing, flying this damn little piece of tin rocket, aluminum ass wall rocket to the moon, and never go back. Like since the 60s or 70s, it's like it's the 2020s now. Like, what we could do up there now? The type we should be able to do up there compared to then. Put a flag, one step for mankind, and that's it. End the story. We don't end the story like that. Like. You know what I'm saying? We don't. I mean, the thing about me is I've always believed in, space, rocket, all that, that's what they told us. We were programmed to believe that. But then we start looking into it. I'm not really like a full-blown, like, firmament, flat earth type.
Yeah.
I don't believe anything. I'm at the point now where I'm in the middle, where I'm like, I know we've been lied to, so I don't really believe in space, but I don't know if there's a firmament. Now, I will tell you one thing I have heard. Maybe this is what it is. I don't know. But there's have you ever heard of the Van Allen radiation belt?
Go into it.
So basically, it's a radiation belt that surrounds, supposedly, if space is real, that just surrounds the Earth. And it's like 100,000 miles, hundreds of thousands of miles long. And its radiation is so strong that nothing could survive to go through that radiation. Nothing. Not even a person in a rocket. It's between us and the moon. So that could be the firmament. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It could be something that's forcing us to stay in here and we can't leave. Whether it be glass or just gas, whatever it is. Because, like, when you look into firmament, like, the word firmament comes from the Bible. But when you start to break it down and you get the actual Hebrew, like, translation of it, it's not. It's very different than what people think. I should have pulled it up, should have had it prepared, but it's something like around the lines of like it's something that you cannot go through. It's something that's I can't remember the exact words, but it didn't sound like a glass dome when you break the Hebrew word, the root word from the original Bible.
It's plasma.
Plasma. So it's plasma.
Plasma is gas and liquid. Plasma operates on the gas. When they take your blood and they want your plasma. Your blood is made over 50% of what your blood is made of is something called plasma. It's a liquid and it's a gas. Okay. Plasma, pretty much, is what like it's like an astral substance. You get what I'm saying? And that's how we pretty much receive like a lot of the downloads, a lot of the like. Your dreams, like a lot of that shit is tied to your astral body. A lot of that shit, like a lot of our genetics is tied to, like, remember, we're spirit. You're not meat. You know what I'm saying? What operates your body is spirit. That's what anime, that's what the word anime literally means spirit. Okay? Spirit means like, it's like to give something life. You get what I'm saying?
And when he said downloads, that's basically like information. So, like, have you ever just been randomly doing something and a thought just pop in your head? Like, what the fuck? Like, where did that just come from? It's a download. It's information being sent to you, basically.
I believe in that.
Computer, your brain is a computer. They structured the brain from they structured the computer from a brain. Your brain, we can actually receive downloads and we can send uploads. Just like a computer or a processor can take in information and it can send out information. This shit is simple. Even with I want to make a point which I was talking about with the conscious transfer. Fam, it's a great point because if you get a new phone, right? I got a new phone, right? You know iPhone. Have 14, you want to get 15. What you want to do? You can put the fucking phone together, fam. And what happened? All the data from the old phone gets shipped over onto the new phone. The old phone is nothing. You throw that shit away. The new phone has all the old data.
It's an exact replica.
You see what I'm saying? That is a small replica, like you saying, of whatever they giving us, fam.
Gotta know this shit way bigger.
I should.
It get way bigger.
I believe that's what I think. Exactly what you just said. It's just like the same thing when you get a new iPhone. They're getting a new body. And they've been doing it for a long time. It's just a technology.
Yeah.
This is like a ritual. And in my opinion, just to get deep, I feel like children, are involved in these rituals. And that's what this is really about. They make it seem like it's a whole, I ain't gonna say the word like PEDO thing, which it is probably, but I think it's deeper than that. I think there's some real deal rituals going on, blood rituals that have to be done with children.
Yeah.
Innocent. There's something about it being, especially the younger, probably the stronger their rituals are. And like you said, it's too something. The devil, some sort of God. I mean, I'm not a god, but God of evil entity. There you go. Some sort of evil entity that has power. Or why would they do it? Would you do it for fun? Like they've been sacrificing people forever.
I already know you want to go in, but it's like
This is your shit.
it get deep though, cause it's like just like how you were saying, you don't know like what the specific reason could be. Two things could be true at once. They could really be into that type of shit. On top of the fact that they conducting these rituals.
Exactly.
And when you a child, that's when you literally you got that strongest connection to the spiritual realms. Because back to when I was talking about incarnation, you fresh here, you just got here. You've been living outside the matrix. You just got here, so your spiritual energy is way stronger. That's why, like, have you ever heard a kid when they talk about like the boogeyman and they seen something in the corner of the room? It's literally true. Like those things literally happen because their connection to the spiritual realm is so fucking strong that they literally can sense things that somebody who been in this matrix for longer can't sense.
You know what? That's crazy. You ever seen the movie The Sixth Sense?
That. And on top of that,
He's a kid.
Monsters Inc. You ever seen Monsters Inc?
Yeah, exactly. And it's a lot of the cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
The kids can see it.
Yeah.
Like the show Rugrats. Like the kids can always have all these adventures that go on. Every cartoon's like that. Doors, Explorers, like all those ones. But the adults can't see it.
One of the things about it is they put a lot of it in the children's cartoons and everything because you're closer to the spiritual realm. So you know those things are true. Even if it's just subconsciously as a kid, you can pick up on it. But then you got these adults who come and tell you, superpowers not real. These things not real. What you seeing on that TV not real because they've been in the matrix longer getting programmed. So they just been literally intaking so much programming that they programming the kid now.
Yeah.
To believe what's right in front of them is not true.
We, as parents, we become the programmers of the program. That's insane.
What they program people to be like.
So culture is programming.
Mm-hmm.
Parenting is program. Parent is pay rent. Because once you have the kid, you sign your kid over to the state, right? Not what they want in the corporation. You sign your kid over, and they own your kid. Like, if you are not handling your kid, they can take your kid legally. Because you don't own them. You're renting them. You're paying rent.
Let me break that down real quick, because like most people not be that deep into what you saying. When you saying you signed them over, basically talking about birth certificates, Social Security cards, these things that they make you sign the moment the kid gets here. But go ahead. I just had to break that down because most people might not have got what you said, and I ain't want to get misconstrued.
Yeah.
Yes. I just wanted to land right there. This my nigga Zay interview. It's Zay Hefner, one Jonathan. Ashe.
That's a good point. Wow. Paying rent. So if you're not doing what they tell you, if you're not programming your child the way that they want you, like, go and bring them to school.
Truance, I was just about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, you're
You
missing
already know.
school. Like, your job is to bring your child to the programming.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing it.
Facts though, like,
Thanks, bro.
hey, you just snap right there because that's literally what's going on.
So,
You
like,
want to program y'all. If you not gonna bring that kid to get programmed, oh, we got a problem with
It's
you
illegal.
now.
It's illegal to do.
we have someone else who can take charge to do it. Like, we're going to give custody to someone else, and they're going to do it.
And we tell them they don't teach shit. They have a curriculum. If you look up what the curriculum is, pretty much like an indoctrination. They cannot go. If your teacher teaches you anything against the curriculum, they will get in trouble. Go against it again, you will get mandated. Go against it again, your ass is done, son.
No more jobs coming for you.
Depending on what you say, you can't. It might be one. You feel me?
Because it gets so deep. Just think about this. To everybody watching right now, why is the word principle so close to principalities?
And what
And why?
explain.
And why are the? And just another question: why are most principles 80? Look, go. Most principles, excuse me, are Masons. Even the women principles. The women principles are something called Eastern Stars. Look it up.
I've never heard that before.
And it's basically like, you know how we was talking about the celebrities and selling souls? But what if these principals in the school sold their souls? Being over programming centers. And you literally indoctrinating the next generations into this programming.
And those principles always be like something weird about them. I ain't gonna lie. Every time. I don't, it's just like a weird energy around the
that-
principles.
That energy.
Because they're the overseers of the program.
They the principalities. They overseeing and making sure everything go according to plan in the programming center.
Damn. That got deep right there. That's some
Hey,
real shit. Damn.
should be something to think about.
So look, I met this dude with my homeboy JT. He always tells me about free will does not exist. So we've been really getting on the topic today. I don't even know if you made the realization, but do you believe that free will exists?
Yeah.
Okay, so look at it like this. If everything that we've been taught has been programming from the beginning, from the very beginning of our life, and then every decision that we make is because of something that was someone else told us to make the decision this way. Or we had an experience like we saw someone else and we were taught, programmed to make like when this happens, you have to do this. So free will would mean that you have 100% the choice to do whatever you want. 100%. Like free will, like if you're like whenever you put the word free means zero. Like it's completely free. It's not free. Don't mean it's free, but you got to pay $1. Free means 100% free. So if most of the decisions we make are based on programming, do we really have free will?
And how I look at it, it basically go back into what I was saying about it's been a war on the planet, and we living in the aftermath of it, and it's evil entities in control of the world as we see it today. And free will has literally been violated upon, which is the reason why shit has to go back to its natural order. Just like what Thanos was saying, balance has to be restored. And they've been violating free will. But on another point, think about the movies. They literally telling you what's going on. They don't have to tell you in the way that you want them to tell them. The way that you want them to tell you, they tell you how they see fit. So they telling you the truth. But most people think it's lies.
Just a land, God. Universal law, the way free will works, right? We do have free will. At the same time, the way they keep control is they show you everything. That's what he's saying. They don't have, like, you still have your free will, but you choose to do the shit. This is why they show you what they show you, promote what they promote. Just because it's something called satanic karma. Karmic. If you look up how karma works, pretty much like if you tell me what you're doing, the consequences of what happens after are lessened. So think about this. If you walk out and then I take the bottle, and you're like, what the fuck, this nigga took my bottle? Right? Versus if I say, hey, bro, I'm taking this motherfucker. What? I grab it and take it. You get what I'm saying? That's a whole different energy. I told you I was finna do this. You get what I'm saying? That's how this shit work.
Is it karmic retribution?
Exactly. You feel me? And this is a karmic law that Satan actually uses to, like, delay retribution. He uses this, like, he gonna show you, like you say, the lie cannot exist without the truth. He's gonna show you what the fuck going on. He just gonna mix it in with lies. So you actually don't know. Subconsciously, you know. You register everything subconsciously. Consciously, you're not recognizing what you're seeing. You're not recognizing what you're hearing.
So basically, what you're saying is that, like, when we watch The Simpsons, and everybody's like, "Oh man, they were predicting stuff. They're like some sort of like prophet or something." And or the movies where they show us what happens before it happens. And all reality, it's not really a prediction. It's they're letting you know exactly what they're gonna do.
Exactly.
They're gonna show you, like, piece for piece. It's gonna go down just like this. These people are gonna walk the door this way, and they literally, like, show it, like, and then they reenact. They do it exactly the way they showed you. It's a reenactment of the movie or cartoon in real life.
Did y'all see when Will Smith went on stage and did his thing to Chris Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all also see the movie where that came from?
Which movie?
All you gotta do is look it up. AI is so good. It's good. Use it for now before it becomes sentient. That's another topic.
Probably is already.
But all you gotta do is type in Will Smith, Chris Rock reenactment scene. It's a movie. That shit happened already. They literally have an Instagram clip side by side showing this. I'm talking about word bar for literally the same. It's not nothing. It's not different. Look it up. That's all I'm saying. Look it up. That's my favorite. That's actually my saying. Look it up. That's all you gotta do.
Like, you know how you were saying, like, the whole free will thing and everything? Even Kanye, he said it. People, I don't know why everybody, they be like, when you reference the things he be saying, it's like, oh, you mentioned Kanye, he's so off the rocker, but he be telling the truth a lot.
You do.
He literally said,
especially before.
He said slavery was a choice, and people misconstrued it because it's two different forms of slavery. Yeah, they had the physical version, but it was after that, it became mental, psychological, and spiritual. And people started agreeing to these things. And it could break out at any moment, just like how people always talk about, like, what's stopping everybody from stopping paying bills, just saying fuck they system and doing our own thing. It could happen any day. People just choose not to.
Right. So are you saying that slavery exists? The Matrix is common day slavery.
Exactly.
What they did was they stopped fighting us physically, and what they started doing was the spell that they used that introduced this, what he's talking about, is called the Emancipation Proclamation. If you look up what emancipate means, emancipate does not mean to free. It only means to free from the hand. It is the physical battle. They stopped fighting us. They stopped fighting us, twin. You have to do actual history. They got tired of fighting us, twin. Remember, they was fighting us at the same time around the whole planet. The Zulus was fighting at the same time the Aztecs was fighting. The Mayans was fighting. Then you go look at the Navajo. Then you go look at the Creek, Cherokee. All these motherfuckers fighting at the same time. Dogon. All these motherfuckers fighting at the same time. Remember that.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Have you ever thought about the fact that 1492 wasn't when they went to war with America. It was the first World War where they went to war with the entire world. And right now is the result of that battle. And everything that took place after is literally when they came into power. And history is his story. Because they won, so they write the story of everything that took place.
That's an interesting. I've always thought there must have been a war. I always say this to everybody because it's not in history, or like you said, what we heard, what we know of history, is like what happened. Like look at Africa. Look at well South Africa and Africa. Look at like the pyramids, all these advanced structures. Like they were obviously way more advanced, but something happened. Something happened clearly. What happened? Like, how did the Europeans end up taking the world over the way they did? Because obviously, if in Africa they had that type of knowledge, you would think that, and you don't see any of that type of stuff. And you see that there's so much technology, so much more, highly just thought through, huge megalithic structures. That's what I'm looking for. In Africa, pyramids and all this stuff, but you don't see it in Europe. You don't see it in other areas of the world. So clearly, something happened. And I've always been trying to figure out what exactly was it that happened. Like how, like obviously there was a change of power. How? Like, what do you think? What's your opinion on that?
Go back to what I was saying. I feel like it was this war that took place, and the powers that be. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't feel like they from this planet. I feel like they came here, and they first original place that they came to was the Caucasus Mountains. And you ever heard when Christopher Columbus talk about a whole new world, but people glaze over it? If you go into a different country, a different continent per se, and you're not just gonna look at it like, oh, this is a whole new world. Like it might be a whole new experience, but we see they very intentional about the words that they use. They just, if you want to take it at face value, that's on you. But we telling you exactly what's going on, and they say a whole new world, and they talk about it in this way. So when he said they sailed on these ships, what's to say it wasn't spaceships? What's to say they wasn't just sailing on water? What if that whole new world was this planet? And maybe Europe was part of this planet. It wasn't built up per se. It was like everywhere else, it was being built up. Like, I don't believe that this planet is as old as they say it was. As they say it is. I believe this planet has been getting built up, but it got stagnant. It stopped being built up once they got here. And that's the reason why you see all of these monolithic, huge structures. And then once everything like 1492 and on, everything just stopped. And now it's cubes, blocks. There's no more of those grand structures no more. I feel like that's all because of that root point. If they came here, they won the war, they took over, and they implemented the vision that they saw for this planet. And people just been living in it unknowingly ever since.
That's very interesting. So would this connect with the Tartaria? Do you believe in any of that Tartaria?
Yeah.
So do you feel like there's a connection with that?
Yeah, but
that is the old world?
Yeah, in a sense, because I don't believe Tartaria was the whole world. I believe Tartaria was over in Russia.
Okay.
But all of these other civilizations, because look, how I look at it, it was all, the planet was on the same frequency. Everything was on the same frequency. Everybody lived as one. So even how you see same structures in Tartaria, and then there's buildings in America, and there's buildings in South America, and all of these different places, and they look the same.
Yeah.
That's literally because everybody was living as one. But then, you ever heard about the Tower of Babel and how it came down and everybody had different languages?
Yeah.
I believe it was crystal towers on the planet. And once those those crystal towers got destroyed, it was no more telepathy. I believe we used to talk with telepathy as well. Like, that's how we used to communicate. Once that went down, though, it was a wrap. Everybody had to develop their own languages. And that's where tribes came in at. But the tribes, I don't believe they was like these prehistorical, barbarics, fruit on their heads. No, they was advanced. More advanced than anything we see on this planet right now, besides the aftermath and things that they left behind. So Egyptians, I don't believe that was thousands of years ago. I believe that was a tribe that was here after 1492, after everybody tribed up. The Aztecs, the Incas, who else? The Tartarians. I believe they was a tribe. And there's just so many different tribes all around the planet. So many of them. A whole lot of them.
So there was a bunch of different civilizations that were advanced and throughout the world. They all were using like the bells.
Mm-hmm.
And they all had similar type of stuff. Because like you always look at like, I know like, I don't know what it was, but I remember hearing about these blimps.
Yeah, the airships.
The airships, right? And it's like we had these ships that could fly because it made it seem like, oh, the Wright brothers created an airplane. We could fly finally. It was so crazy. But it's like, but y'all been flying. What about them blimps? Y'all forgot?
And those blimps way more advanced than what the fuck the Wright brothers had. The Wright brothers, those planes they had, not shit.
That shit would get drove into a storm. They'd be dead. You know what I'm saying? Like it had no type of. It was like way less advanced than the blimps.
And have you ever heard about the lighthouses? Those were used for the airships to land at. That's why they just randomly around. It's all of these different
lighthouses.
Yeah. And another point, like even when we talk about like Tartaria and everything, like you can literally see that they took credit for a lot of things that's not theirs. They lied about a lot of things. A lot of these buildings
Russian
were already
propaganda.
here. And when you just look around the world, literally, the Empire State Building, it didn't take 1 year to build that. It's so many different skyscrapers from like those. It's like a couple of years, and they were just like, we built this, we built this, we built this. How?
Not only that, like if you want to get deep, like because people might be able to dissect that one and be like, that wasn't that long ago, right? But maybe they didn't build it. But the ones that really get you is the churches in Europe. When you go to Europe, the cathedrals, you're like, bro, ain't no way y'all rode a horse up to here. Everybody's working. They rode a horse up to work and built that in like a couple years.
Exactly.
Like this is crazy. Like there's no way, because we don't know what happened to the pyramids. We can hear all kind of theories, but they have actual like records and stuff and said we built that. I'm like, come on, bro.
Thanks. And it's like, you know what's crazy? What's crazy about the cathedrals is they tell you they built those in like the 1100s, the 12 and 1300s.
Exactly.
Around that same time, in that little window, they were talking about their advanced achievements. One of them was the handkerchief. How you advanced? You come up with a handkerchief in a cathedral. Those not even in the same stratosphere. Like, what the fuck really going on?
Right.
What was really taking place?
Exactly. The type of stuff y'all would be having to do to make this. Like, if you actually look at it, and you know what? I want to go. I got to see it myself. I want to see the pyramids, and I want to see these cathedrals. And just look at it and be like, did they really invent the handkerchief the same time frame that they built this? Did they really ride a horse up here? And not because the reason why I say ride a horse, because I'm talking about we ain't got no machine. There ain't no car because there ain't no machine.
Pre-industrial revolution.
Horse and carriage.
Pre-industrial revolution. Horse and carriage. That is the fastest you can go. Is the horse. When they say horsepower, we're talking about 1 horsepower. You feel me? So it's like, bro, and y'all built that with one like the most you could have did was use a horse to try to pull some shit to try to get it up there. Like, how'd you even get up there? Like,
it's called his story because the story rectifies their timeline. They wrote themselves into history. They wrote themselves into his story. They wrote themselves into time. And the story they used to justify this timeline, it's called his story. His story actually comes from a Greek guy his name was Herodotus. That's where the term hero comes from. Go look it up. It's called Herodotus.
Mm-hmm.
This is where hero come from. That's why all the heroes is what? This is when they wrote themselves into history. Remember how I said they invented everything? And then they reset time, fam. This is why, like you were saying, they already had the shit, but they making you think that we was in some Stone Age shit, black and white cameras. Oh, we was stupid. Nothing was happening till we got here, for real.
They do make it seem that way.
You get what I'm saying? And they slowly released the technology out.
Again, right? For the second time.
Don't y'all already know they be look when you kind of look into this shit, you be like, damn, They be like, you feel me? Like they
Mhm.
already had like, you know what I'm saying? They be
Yeah.
slowly releasing this shit.
They say
been
they're
had
20
it.
years ahead,
You
but they're
feel me?
probably really 200 years ahead. Like 200 years ago, they had all this.
These folks have already planned for their demise. If you read the Bible, we are in Revelation. Revelation is nothing but a whole bunch of war. The quote that he read earlier in the show was a war quote. It was Satan talking to his troops, which was the people that he used to invade the planet. And he cursed the gods who was on he cursed them. And now you eating McDonald's and Chick-fil-A and Zaxby's, which is flesh. This is not condemning. This is just telling you what the fuck going on. I say.
That's insane. That's deep. So I like how you broke that down because a lot of people when they hear about Tartaria,
Yeah.
they're hearing about like they think that Tartaria is this worldwide nation that controlled everything and they built all these buildings. But really it was just like kind of like now in the sense of it was just a bunch of different nations that were advanced.
And Tartaria, like the empire, it was a big ass empire we had. Like it stretched from Russia all throughout Asia, just like the Caucasus Mountains. The Caucasus Mountains is not just in Europe. The Caucasus Mountains is a big ass mountain. It stretched from all the way through Europe, Asia, all type of shit. Europe, all type of shit. You see what I'm saying? So it was a tribe, but like we had like think about like a blood set. Like we had like it be bloods, but some of them be like Damu. Some of them might be goddamn you know what I'm saying? Like Pyru. Some of them might be like, but they're still, you know what I'm saying? That. And we was like spread out. Like we had different parts. We had a lot of we controlled the land. You feel me? Even though like think about it like this. A house so big you might not have put furniture in it yet. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's what like some of the Caucasus Mountain was like the shit was still big and beautiful. Like it was still like a lot of shit. It just had to be like cultivated. You get what I'm saying? It had to be like actually like you feel me? So, but they was like caves. But they were like big, but they're not. It was like pretty much like big ass trees and mountains. You get what I'm saying? Like, and the reason that when they talking about even Caucasus, like, remember, the Caucasus is not actually like a country. Like, if you say somebody is Mexico, American,
Mhm.
European.
Let me ask you something real
You know what I'm
quick.
saying? But it's mountains.
You ever heard that mountains are tree stubs? Tree
heard
stumps.
That's what I was getting. You heard that? Didn't you?
Yeah, I have heard that before. And I've seen some examples of like some huge mountains that are pretty clearly tree stumps.
Yes.
Like in America actually,
Yeah.
in like Nevada or wherever it is. Like I think it's possible. I mean, so basically that'd be interesting. So basically it's like kind of like what we talked about the vibration level of humans, how it's been lowered so they're smaller. So the vibration of this whole planet as a whole could have been higher. So we had because there's different ways to look at it. Because I kind of looked at it like this too. Maybe it's gravity, if gravity's real.
It's density. You. That's a great. Because gravity is
Said
not
it before
real.
I could.
Gravity is not real. Gravity is a concept they put on you. You ever seen Peter Pan? Motherfucker forgot he could fly because he started learning the laws of this matrix. Where he from, manifestation is how you create. On here, limitations are set. My dog Zay, the guy Zay Hefner, has a video. He explained that you have to go over 88 miles an hour to even open a portal. This is why they have speed limits. You know how easy it is to go 90 on the highway?
And you know that could be explained with science with the particle accelerators. They're shooting those particles at such high speeds, and it's clearly something's going on. And we could do a whole podcast about that.
You feel me?
with
Facts.
that. But I will say this about what we were talking about with you're seeing these pyramids not only in Egypt but also in South America as well as Japan, even possibly Antarctica. So we're seeing clearly some sort of civilization that's communicating. Why would they all build these? Like,
Exactly.
I know I'm not gonna be out there.
Like,
Why? Like, I'm
That's
not
a good-
gonna.
Like, why? That's a good.
Why?
question.
Like, if I'm in Egypt and I'm building a pyramid for whatever reason, 3 of them, as a matter of fact, well, way more than 3. We're talking about hundreds of thousands, but I'm talking about huge ones.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go.
You wanna open your phone up for me.
Oh,
What's at the top? You see that? You see that Wi-Fi symbol up there?
mm-hmm.
What that look like to you?
Looks like an upside down pyramid.
Okay. And you said talking to. What you said? And how you talk to Wi-Fi?
That's interesting.
Hmm.
Even your signal is like a pyramid.
The pyramid.
Steps of the pyramid. Like how many bars you have, they get bigger.
Mhm.
Well, I mean that would be interesting. You know, I mean, a power plant of some sort, like something. There definitely is,
Communication,
So-
maybe.
or even some sort of way to move, like teleport.
Wi-Fi.
Oh, teleportation. Yeah.
maybe even, ooh, that's like a way to transfer energy. How about that?
There's so many.
Facts.
But the thing is like, but the main question is though. So we're talking about what it is, right? But why would multiple people make it, unless it was clearly been we've clearly communicated, like, hey man, I built this pyramid and it should be doing some shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So you should build one too, whether it was the same society or just different people, just like now where we would build a Wi-Fi tower.
Oh, you
know,
hungry. What that shit called? Hungry AF or touchdown wings.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Buy one
A
place.
All these
corporation.
different franchises.
You're gonna branch out and make more. I mean, like we're at the end of the day, people are people. They're gonna do it now, just like they did it then. You know what I'm saying? Like the same stuff we do now, they were doing back then, but they just had different leadership. You know, difference. But we know that. And for example, we all build power plants so we can power our cities.
Yeah.
So why do we do it? Because so and so said, "Man, I made this power plant. We was having electricity, so you should make one." You know, so it's like boom. Now everybody made one. Same with the pyramids. Like they made it for a reason. It's not like, hey, I'm gonna stack these bricks because I'm bored as fuck. You
And
know
then-
what I'm
Hey,
saying?
you know what's crazy? Hold on,
Oh,
let me land real quick. So you know how you was talking about like, and this is the worldwide consensus that they made everybody believe in. Hey, if you want to believe it, I ain't telling nobody what to believe. Just do your research on what I'm saying. They tell us everybody came from Africa.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that America has more pyramids around it than any other continent combined?
I have heard that before.
So
Nobody believes it.
it's true though, and they literally all around. They just call them mounds now, and they got them covered with grass. But if you deep enough into these rabbit holes of what's really been going on, you would heard of the mud floods, and that it was floods going on. And after a flood, what happens? The water level will raise. After it go back down, it'll be grass and all type of shit that ain't grown. It's been centuries since these things was going on. So even
And-
once you think about that, like that go into my point of the Tartarians and Africa. We was everywhere. That's why you see pyramids every single place you go. Every continent has pyramids. It's pyramids off the coast of different places because it was lands that got sunk.
Exactly.
This world don't even look how it used to look.
It's
It's
Japan. There's a whole bunch of pyramids on underwater.
exactly.
And they call them ruins. That was the only thing, like the Aztec ruins, the Mayan
They
ruins.
call it ruins.
But
Like
they got
they
ruined
got-
during the war.
They got
Mm.
ruined.
And then they got founded.
Mm-hmm.
Founded
The
in
cities got founded.
17.
But see, they left behind the stuff like that. They left the ruins were like the pyramid.
and that's the stuff they couldn't even use.
Exactly. But they founded the cities.
Mm.
It's like, and it's kind of insane when you look into the history of like, first of all, including Atlanta, almost every major city was burned down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
overly.
All these great fires that coincidentally happened at the same fucking time.
And
Exactly.
lakes are literally, they are the results of dead bodies. And what they did was they flooded over them and they built cities on top of them.
If you want to look into Lake Lanier, you're gonna find a whole city underneath Lake Lanier.
Literally.
And it's like, but that's just like Atlanta. That's Atlanta history. Most people might not even know
Shit, yeah.
about what Lake Lanier is, but like, but that's just one example, though.
And if you want to look into that town, it's called Oscarville.
Exactly. But how many other lakes have the same story?
Every single lake lakes are man-made. Dams, lakes, these are all man-made structures, and they are used to disrupt the flow of the energy of the planet. The water is like the blood. You say your blood flow through your veins, and your body is made of 70% water. If I cut you right now, it's gonna come out. blood, but the blood contain that water, that plasma, all that shit. You feel me? That's the same thing. But if somebody put a damn, like, think about your main artery, the shit that's pumping the most blood to that artery, right? And then that shit is pushing out, like, the blood to a lot of other shit. If you put a dam right there and stop the blood from flowing, how does it push the most energetic points? You get what I'm saying? These are what dams are set up for. These are what these lakes are set up for. You know what I'm saying? Which are all man-made. They cut them all type of shit. They cut them off all type of shit because this is how you restrict the flow of energy on the planet.
Let me say something real quick, and that go back into my point of all animals not real. Some animals literally lab created. Like, think about this. Say you was God, right? And you created all of these beautiful different things, a beautiful planet, beautiful water. It's all flowing. It's always moving. So where the fuck do a beaver come from? It literally go around gnawing down these beautiful trees that you made. It create dams. The water can't move no more. The people, like the different beings, the animals that live in this particular part, they literally have to relocate, or they'll literally, they might just fade out of existence. They might go into extinction just because this beaver came in and literally reconstructed the whole habitat and changed everything.
So you're saying the beaver is an invasive species?
But it's deeper than that.
It was created to be invasive.
Yes.
Most invasive species are not natural to they are invasive.
They're natural to some environment somewhere.
Like, think about it like this. A lot of them, even like he even did a live about a polar bear. These are genetic mutations of the real shit. A polar bear, that's why it's the most aggressive. It eat the most meat. It's the most, all that type of shit. Black bears, brown bear, they literally not even trying to be funny. They're not pussy, but they're not trying to really fuck you up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless you do some crazy shit to them, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But like, it's the polar bear because it's a mutation. If you think about like roaches. Roaches are not natural on this planet. Like, the shit that actually causes more nuisance than help, because every insect, every bug, every animal, it interacts in the cycle.
Has a purpose.
Yes. Certain, like, remember, they fight us on all levels. So they have fought us on an animal, like they fight our animals too. Remember, we have a connection with our animals, fam. So not only do they fight us, they fight us with the animals. So they will literally introduce species that will throw off the rotation of the cycle.
Facts.
Just like they will give you a plan B to throw off the rotation of your cycle. Right? They fight us on the same level that they fight the planet. Remember that.
That's really deep. Wow.
Like how you think about like war is taking place on all levels. Like talked about a spiritual war, but think about the fact that even our animals at war, even the elements are at war. They put different things in the water. They put things in the air. They spray the air all day.
Right.
The soil. It's stories about McDonald's and they potatoes, and we know McDonald's, they own a lot of land out here. They literally go around spraying the soil like the soil is contaminated.
They be able to switch.
Even when you think about the reason why most people die when a fire happens, it's not even a fire most times. It's the smoke. Because everything is polluted. So it's been war on every level.
Damn. That's deep. Whew.
Mosquitoes, they fuck with the animals.
Mosquitoes is a part of them.
Now look, hold on. Let me land real quick. With the mosquitoes, this is something for people to look up. You know how they go around, they bite people, right? Did you know that mosquitoes, once they bite people, like think about like a family cookout during the summer, and all those mosquitoes be out, it's people slapping their arms the whole fucking cookout. After they done doing what they doing, when they fly away, they literally fly in different herds according to which blood type they just drew.
Really? They fly in different herds?
Yeah, like different
for
groups.
What purpose?
I ain't gonna lie, that go back to when we was talking about like how it's a war, and they getting us on every different level. You ever seen a movie like Us?
Mm-hmm.
You seen how it was the different people living underground?
Yeah.
Now what if I said is really clones of everybody, and they literally are out here. And maybe the mosquitoes are the reason they got everybody genetics, because they fly, they bite you, and they don't only bite you for no reason. They taking that back somewhere because
Take your blood.
they don't eat. That's not even their form of eating. They just do it. So why are they doing it? This is something people can look up. You can look it up right now.
But you want to know what's even crazier though? Is that they've already admitted that they create mosquitoes and release them into the wild to regulate or whatever the fuck they said.
Bill Gates.
Yeah. So you're saying that that's why, like you said, there's got to be a truth in the lie and the karmic retribution.
Yeah.
So like we're making mosquitoes.
Let them land.
They're like they're making mosquitoes, but they're not going to tell you why. What are they doing with these mosquitoes? And maybe they always been making these mosquitoes. I wonder how long we've even had mosquitoes, because we would never know. Or maybe, but do you feel like mosquitoes were originally created for this, or do you feel like they've just made genetically modified versions?
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. How I look at it, anything that's not contributing to the planet is against the planet. So animals that don't contribute anything and they just out here causing destruction, they're literally out here to cause destruction. Like, it's war on all levels. And it's different beings that go against the planet, and it's beings that save the planet. Like a bee. Bees don't really do, they got a negative stigma, but that's because that's what they've been taught. They literally vibrate at such a high frequency that they make a bzzz sound.
Right.
But they out here, they just pollinating plants. That's their purpose.
But they're actually one of the most important insects at all.
Exactly. And it's like, you got different beings that help the planet, and you got beings that's against the planet.
Didn't Bill Gates, didn't he the same motherfucker say he wanted to depopulate the planet by however many million people?
He did say that. I
Like,
mean, I that's one person I feel like does not have the best intentions for the world. 'Cause a lot of the bad things that happen are with him. Like, because look at look at the vaccines in Africa, giving these people diseases, like just doing human testing, basically, in Africa, and it's like his whole foundation. And then you just gotta look in how much he's been involved in these Epstein files. Like, he's all up through it. Like, ever since the beginning. Like, we've all, like, anybody who looks into this type of stuff, we heard about Pizzagate. Like, we knew about this stuff way before it was, like, talked about in the mainstream. We knew this shit was going on, and he was one of the main names that was getting mentioned. So what do you think? What do you think is about to happen with all that? Do you feel like...
Now, land right there.
Go ahead.
Then I'm going to shut up.
Go ahead.
You good?
Go ahead. You good.
You've had good perspectives, for sure.
COVID, fam. Did y'all know, to his point, that we were the actual test? Like, they do test runs on the people. They didn't even do it. Like, they tested the COVID shit on rats. After they tested on rats, they gave it to the American people.
Did y'all take it?
No.
Hell nah.
If y'all don't remember, they came out with that vaccine faster than Usain Bolt. It was fast. They had a response time for it. Right after that shit,
Which is way quicker than any one that's ever been made.
they tested it on the American people. Literally.
More people have been dying from that than the actual... Because we got to think about the inflation in deaths. They kept saying all these people died, but then you realize later they died of other causes. They were literally paying... this is the craziest thing. They were paying hospitals money to say it was a COVID death. It wasn't.
They don't give you money. They don't... Listen, if water isn't free, why would it be free to get a COVID shot? Water isn't free. It's the most abundant element on the planet.
Even on another point, think about this. They told people, you can't come to your job if you don't get this shot.
Exactly.
You can't come make money for us, which in return is making us money if you don't get this shot.
And you know that's crazy when they say stuff like that, because that's the whole programming. That's the whole thing behind all this. You said it from the beginning, is to go to work and you got to bring your kids. You know what I mean? It gets deep as to how deep this goes. But they're like, you can't go to your job, government jobs and things like that, without having a COVID shot. Like me personally, I knew from the beginning. I've always been one of them people. Like, I could show you some songs I did talking about this before the COVID shot even came out.
Mm.
I already knew. Like there was 0% chance I was gonna get any of that shit. I mean, I didn't even get it, like the actual COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm just like a good immune system. You know what I'm saying? Because I do take at the time, and I was taking. I still do take hella vitamin, like all this shit, like vitamin C, just vitamin D, like echinacea, like all the shit. You know what I mean? I take that shit, black seed oil. So it's like I was already. I think that's probably why, but I didn't get it ever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I don't know what the deal is. I feel like fear. If you are in fear and you get the flu, right? There's a flu. There's clearly a flu. Right? There's something happening, right? It's not like a COVID-19 or whatever. It's just a flu, right? But if you get that shit and you're in super fear, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I got this thing, and they told me I'm positive. I know so-and-so died, and you probably going to die. You know what I'm saying?
Like opening yourself up.
Yeah.
You making yourself susceptible to this shit that they putting out here.
Exactly. Now, if you're saying, oh, I think I'm going to get really sick, but I'm okay, then you probably will. But if you think you're going to die, you probably will. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. You manifested that upon yourself. So by putting all this fear into it, people are dying from the flu, which never would happen.
Fear is actually a chemical that, like, it's a chemical.
Like
when you feel fear, listen, when you feel fear, you actually release chemicals. Okay, so like just like when you happy, you release dopamine too. So like you know how dogs can smell fear because it lets off a certain. They're called pheromones.
I was about to say it's a pheromone.
Exactly, yeah, they're called pheromones. Like, and you let them off as you like release certain chemicals in your brain. They come out of your pores, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everything you take in, it go out. Just like if you eat a bunch of meat, you can smell it. You drink a whole bunch of liquor, you can smell it. You smoke a whole bunch of weed, you can smell it.
Yeah.
Think a whole bunch of good, you see it on you. Think of a whole bunch of bad, you can feel it type of shit.
Yeah. It's an energy.
Overly.
Yeah.
What
No,
you
100%.
take in is what you put out.
Yeah, and people can sense it. And people are scared of it. People who have bad energy are scared of good energy. Naturally. They don't even realize. But, damn, I forgot. Do you remember what I was saying before we cut off?
We was basically talking about, like...
Fear. We were talking about how fear
and COVID. It was the fear and
flu.
Yeah, the flu. It was the flu and COVID.
Yeah. Saying how if you feel fear, because like we was saying, fear is actually a chemical in the body. And when you feel that, you actually are not able to be your highest self. Fear is the op to your Christ, to your highest self. When you feel fear is the opposite of love. When you feel fear is the opposite of courage. You know what I'm saying? You're not able. When you feel fear, you get scared as fuck, can't move, so paralyzed. You feel fear, but you take that same energy using it's adrenaline. When you feel adrenaline, you have fight or flight. Okay, you can fight, which is using their adrenaline to do what you need to do, or you can flight and you can get scared and bitch up.
And you know how you just went like that when you did it. Even thinking about how somebody they be in that fear mode and they feel small. They literally feel small. They in their lowest self. You don't even feel like you. You know what I'm saying? Versus you feeling yourself like you in that courage, that bravery, you in that high energy. That's how a lion feel. That's how the king of the jungle feel. A tiger feel. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't nothing really fuck with you.
Very true. And I like what you said also when the camera's off. You said that you release a chemical when there's fear. Because they always tell you about dopamine. We all know about it. It's like it makes you feel good. It's like it's something they want us to know about. But what about the chemical that releases the pheromones that are released?
The low vibrational shit.
Exactly. They don't tell us about that because when you watch the news and you watch all this stuff, like you're releasing these pheromones and you're feeling fear, and it's like they could feed off of it, But also you lose control of yourself. Like you don't really make when you're in fear. Like you're not making really the best decisions as opposed to when you're in the right state of mind. They want you in that state of mind where you'll kind of do what anybody says. Like if you're in fear and someone's like, "Hey, go this way," You're like, oh shit, that way? That must be the way. But if you're like in a good state of mind, like, go that way, bitch. I ain't going that way. I'm going my way. What the fuck you mean go that way? The only time you go that way is when you're in fear, like, oh shit, something's going on.
Exactly.
You start following random people in some random direction that you would never go if you weren't in fear. So that's how you know what fear does to you. It leads you in these crazy fucking ways, like to get the vaccine during COVID.
Now let me say something real quick. Think about this. What is one thing that you will hear a lot of people say? They'll say, I'm a God-fearing man. I'm a God-fearing woman. Why would God ever want you to fear? When that's literally one of the lowest vibrational energies, one of the lowest frequencies. You should love God. You should love the Most High. You should feel a sense of protection, being safe, being seen and heard. Like, it's literally...
I like that.
Other beings, these low vibrational entities, they feed off of fear. So why would God want you to fear him, her, it's, if that was...
I like that a lot because, like, whenever I would always hear people say I'm a God-fearing man, I would always sit there and kind of think about it. Like, I can't really see myself saying that. I just isn't something that, that doesn't make sense. It's almost like a negative, a double negative. Like, like you're a God-fearing man.
But I'm supposed to love you. Like, you look. So am I loving you off of how you punish me? Because what am I basing my love off of? My love is based off fear. So the love is based off of not doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, not because I want to do it right, because I'm going to get in trouble.
And if you a good person out here, people will they reference themselves as children of the Most High. As an expecting father, you wouldn't want your child to fear you, would you? That connection, that love, that sense of respect, it would come from them feeling safe, protected, loved.
You want respect more than you want fear. Fear, when people talk about it, it comes from control, which is what we keep saying. The God in the Bible is Satan. This is control. You remember that free will we're talking about? This is why that shit getting snatched. See what I'm saying?
And that's why I wanted to bring that point up. I don't think people realize that. It is getting snatched. So I know there was something that you want to talk about. What did you want to bring up?
I wanted to bring up Venezuela. The president getting kidnapped. What you think about that?
Before we say that, one more thing. I just had one more thing about that last thing.
Go ahead.
It was just a quick topic. It was just a quick thing. We was talking about what was you talking about?
Fear.
What was talking about? Goddamn.
Children of the Most High.
Yeah, when we talking about like when you say, why the fuck is this guy so jealous? You read the book, right? That motherfucker tell you one of his attributes that he a jealous God. That's what he said. I ain't say that. Remember? Go look it up. I don't want to fuck with no jealous ass nigga. Jealous ass nigga. I don't want to fuck with you. Fuck is you jealous for? I can't go through nobody else but your favorite son. You got a favorite son? If my dad had to keep telling me that my brother his favorite son, you can't. I don't know if you're gonna be like this one, nigga. Fuck you, nigga.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you, and that was the reason why I couldn't do the Christian thing.
Yeah.
Because just to go just a little bit in that topic. Like, you got to accept a certain person as your savior. But I'm like, bro, there's so many good people out here in this world who back in the day, we talked about how they had been communicating. We got pyramids, but let's just take that out of the equation. Like, if these people weren't communicating, then why would they know about Jesus? Why would they even hear of his name if they're in, like, China or, like, South America? Like, how would they know? Like, so I don't look at, like, I feel like there's good people all the time, and we're not going to say they're going to hell because they never said certain. So that just already threw me off. As a kid, I'm like, hold on now.
Like,
I
something
can't.
off.
Something named, like, adding up.
They bought 3 Gs. Remember in history class, guys. Remember, when they start their conquistadors, okay? When they started conquering and invading the different parts on the planet, it was about 3 Gs. It was about gold, glory, and God. They spread religion. They was looking for the riches of the planet, and they wanted to become the rulers of the planet. Okay? The 3 Gs. Gold, glory, and God. This is what they came to spread on the planet. When we saying, like, how did it was brought. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I say that.
Yeah.
And look, even when we talking about Jesus, the letter J didn't get invented until the 1500s.
Exactly. So how is his name Jesus if the letter didn't even exist in the Hebrew alphabet at all?
Exactly. And then once you start looking into Yeshua or Yahuwah, it get way different. You see a whole different message. It's like, okay, why do just this change in the name bring about so much change in his actions and the message and the things that he was spreading and the way that y'all want us to look and perceive this story?
Exactly.
It's something to think about.
That's
It
why I
is.
said it's all characters. The Bible, when we looking at the Bible, that's why when you do a little, you start getting a little deep. It's allegorical. We get it. The reason it's allegorical is because the shit happened. It's just not how it happened, just not how they telling you it happened. And then they put characters like in place of where you supposed to be, in place of where you know what I'm saying, your ancestors supposed to be, in place of where you know what I'm saying. Like it's a story, fam, and they put their characters in it. That's why their name is Peter, Paul, and fucking Middle East. They're in the Middle East, twin. They're in the Middle East. Mary, Peter, Paul.
I never even noticed that before.
Yeah.
Joseph. They in Africa, bro. All throughout the Middle East, bro.
Right. That
What
makes
the fuck?
right. That's a good point there. And then you look at all the paintings and depictions; they're all white with blue eyes.
Characters.
Jesus or brown hair with blue eyes. It's like it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Like in position in time, like. And we could talk about that whole topic, you know what I'm saying, like another on the next podcast, because that's something that I always bring up to people. Like, there's a lot of people come in to be like Christians trying to tell me, I'm like, look, I could debate you all day, but I don't really care to. People don't want to hear it, you know what I'm saying? Like, people getting mad. I'm like, look, I'm just telling you what I think. I think that there's something wrong here, you know what I mean?
And that's why I keep saying, and I always say, I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm not
exactly.
forcing it on
I'm just
nobody.
telling you what I believe in what I've seen, like what I've noticed, and like even as a kid, I'm just sitting there thinking like, why is even when God is depicted as a white man?
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I'm like, he's not a man at all. You know what I'm saying? But why would he be depicted that way? And then his son is white. It's just like it's obviously something wrong here. It's white supremacy. Let's just be real. That's why I tell people, and people get mad. Christianity is white supremacy. It is. They took the Bible and they turned it into a way to make white people somehow the leaders. You know what I'm saying?
It is what it is.
And
You just
then-
gotta
and
see
then-
it for what it is for real.
And then what they did was, this was the real trick of religion. See, this is what we don't remember, because you know how quick we forget. They took out the stories that they used to when we was in actual physical slavery. That's a big part, y'all gotta know. The story of Ham, that is taken out. That's not in your that's not in your King James. That's not in the King James.
There's a lot of them.
You see what I'm saying? The shit that they actually used, like the real stories are not in the they're not in the King James, bro. They're not in the NIV. They're not in none of these when they revise it, they make sure all the lies are in it. That's what the revision is. They make sure it's written how it's supposed to be written. That's what it's revised. When your teacher revise your paper, it has to meet that correct. If it don't, she gonna hand that motherfucker right back to you. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly why the book has been, and that's a great point.
But look, I do want to say this, because whenever I say these types of things, I still want people to know that there's a God.
Yeah, facts.
And the Bible still has, there's obviously some things that have been changed, and it can, like, it's like taking something that's pure and then putting evil on it and revising it and making it into a whole different message and
There's
a whole
definitely
different
truth to it.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's just, I feel, in my opinion, it goes for a lot of religious texts, a lot of ancient texts. Let's not even say religious texts. They've been coming from a pure place, but they've been, turned to evil, and being used for evil. So, I don't want people to deter people like, look, just be a good person and be a better person and grow as a person. And it's not always about getting with the congregation or if that's what you want, but it's more about just building a relationship with God. But we definitely could do a lot of podcasts about a lot of these topics. A lot of more in depth conversations about it. But I definitely want to get you said about Venezuela, and I'm gonna tell you my opinion on Venezuela. Okay. So a lot of people aren't thinking about this part, but it's pretty simple that Venezuela, as well as we can really connect three things here. We can connect Ukraine,
Mm-hmm.
Israel, and Venezuela, and what we can, or you could say Russia, Iran, and Venezuela, if you want to be specific. These are three countries that are involved in BRIC,
Yeah.
which is a currency that is currently being built up to with China to and India to go against the American dollar. If they win, we'll no longer be in control, and it's not looking good right now, right? So, by us going and taking out Ukraine, like supporting Ukraine, which is hurting Russia, which is a big contender in BRIC, by us going against Iran by supporting Israel, that's weakening the BRIC, weakening their currency, as well as taking out the Venezuelan president is also doing it. So it's like we're making these moves to actually keep America in control. So I feel like, but I'm sure there's always more than one reason we do things, right? We don't just go and snatch up a president out of his house, like or whatever, and just be like, all right, we got you, we're in control now. We've done it.
Yeah.
We did it with Saddam Hussein. You know, we've done it with other countries in the past. But what's your opinion on it? What you think?
I'm not gonna lie, it gets so deep, it get crazy for real. What if I told you, and I love saying that, what if I told you Trump not even a regular human? And that he actually come from a race called the Pleiadians. And what was really going on, because if you look into the stories about what was going on with Venezuela, none of it is regular. None of it, you don't hear those type of stories when you hear about these different countries getting invaded, like when we invaded Iran or when we invaded the Vietnamese and all of these different places. It's not the same type of stories. They literally talk about frequency weapons getting used. The power got shut off around the country. They couldn't even react to what was taking place. It was literally in the blink of an eye, 20 men dropping to the ground, lifeless, dead, over with. That's not regular shit.
Mm.
And what I believe was going on for real, when I talk to the Most High and I go in within and I get my my downloads, it was a whole different thing taking place. What was really going on, you know, in that whole area of Venezuela, the Amazon rainforest sit right next to it.
Right.
And that's ancient land. That's ancient energy. They
Right.
can't even invade they don't even go within there really. Like inside the Amazon, they just set it on fire, but they don't go in.
But there's clearly so many ruins, as we say, but so many
Yeah.
cities that existed there.
And
We
it's
can get into
ancient
that.
energy over there. So
Yeah.
what was taking place, you know about the underground cities
In South America?
around the world.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So under South America, it's a lot of underground cities.
I didn't know
They
that.
was conducting experiments. They was cloning people. They was just doing. It was a lot. How we was talking about the people eating babies and all of those things. They was kidnapping a lot of people. It was literally millions upon millions of people underneath Venezuela.
Wow.
And you ever seen Inside Job on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
You should watch it. It's basically, it show, because they throw the truth inside a lot of media. The president of Venezuela wasn't a human either.
Mm.
He was a reptile.
Mm.
And we keep seeing these reptiles popping up. People, I ain't telling nobody to believe. You don't have to believe it.
Well, I mean, I will say this about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who are reptiles underground, who love pizza,
Exactly.
who are connected to the media. You know, there's definitely some messages, you know.
And what was going on, that Venezuelan president, he was literally one of the high-ranking reptiles, and he was a part of keeping the things that go on this planet in place. Like, he played a huge part in those things taking place. So when he got abducted, it wasn't, people look at it like you gotta look within the story. Like, they always put lies on top of the truth, but it's lies on top of the truth, on top of the truth, on top of lies, on top of the truth. Like, it's just
It's
layers.
layered like lasagna.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's like what he had going on wasn't nothing normal, but because they want to keep their system in place and they gotta tell lies, they tell it like, oh, Trump just kidnapped the president. Why would he just kidnap a president? Like, really?
Out of
When you
nowhere,
just think-
honestly, if you think about it.
Exactly. Like, that don't just happen. Like, it's things
There's something
that have
going on.
to take place. If he was really just out here just committing these atrocities, at a certain point, the military will have to be like, nah, we're not doing this, dude. Like, no.
So
you
you
gonna
think
sink the
that
country.
Trump's got good intentions?
Yeah, but they have to lie about it. And it's like things get so convoluted when it comes to their politics that it's like you gotta really look into these things and go deep within to really get the truth.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, me personally, it does seem like Trump has a lot of good intentions. I mean, there's a lot of like media telling us this, that, and the other, but I just kind of look deeply into it. But then there's a lot of negative things going on.
Yeah.
But I feel like that whole situation in Venezuela, when people ask me about what's my opinion, I feel like he freed those people. I've spoken to multiple Venezuelan people who were definitely like dealing with some really bad situations. Families stuck there, like they got away. Families still at home. It wasn't a good situation there. So we helped them. But why did he do it? That's a whole other topic. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
so I definitely we'll let the people say what they think. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's a good perspective. There's more going on behind the scenes than we'll ever know. We think that we know what's really going on, and you're like, oh shit, this shit is way different. Like if it has to do with the presidents being other species and things like other than human, it's like that would completely change the whole narrative. Like people aren't ready for that.
Exactly.
They wouldn't even build. Their programmer would tell you that's unacceptable. Never gonna believe it. But see, I'm a different type of person. I'm the type of person who's like, hey, look, I don't know, because I know that there's something crazy not right.
Facts.
So if there's something that's not right, and that means there's something that is right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what is it? If I know what I'm being told is not right, then that means I gotta be open to any possibility. And it's up to you to just figure out what it is.
They already lied, so
yeah.
Why would I not try something new? Doing the same thing is insanity.
And when it come to like the people in Venezuela and that whole situation, I seen more celebrating than protesting.
100%.
And when they come to our government, and not even
made
just
it seem
ours,
negative and weird, like the media. You're talking about, yeah, not even the government, the media.
And the media as a whole, like worldwide. I just want people to realize. I would like for people to realize these people lie. That is what they do. It's literally like if you knew somebody in your neighborhood, say everybody done seen Friday, it's that neighborhood bully. You got Debo. If Debo come around you every single day and you see how he move, he come around, he slapping you up, he taking your money, he asking what you got on his 40. And then right after that, he act like everything just cool. Matter of fact, flip that around. He act like everything just cool. And then he start doing those same things I just listed out. Why would you keep on believing him? And then after that, he come around, he acting like he cool. He slap you up, he asking for your money, he asking what you got on his 40. Then the next day he come around, he act like he cool. Then he do the same thing. He ask what you got on his 40. Why would you keep on believing him? Why would you keep going for the same thing? They lie. They're professional liars. And people just forget. It's like people catch amnesia like, oh, no, they wouldn't lie about this, though. They wouldn't lie this time. Man, come on now. We got to see it for what it is.
You broke that down so good. It's like Debo's been running down your block, running your pockets every chance. But then when they come out and they're like, hey, it's this, you're like, you fall for it every time. At first, you're like, nah, I don't think so. But then when it's time, people lining up to get that jab, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, how many times have you been lied to? Like, here's the thing about me. If you lie to me one time, that's all that matters to me. Like, I'll be like, okay. It depends on the situation. You know what I mean? I will give people one step of grace. If you lie to me and you have a good reason, and like, well, I lied to you, all right, cool. But if you lie to me again, that's a fucking rap. I don't care who you are. You could be my brother. If you keep lying to me, I don't believe you ever again. Period. And I don't care what you say.
And that's because look, when you're receiving information and somebody starts speaking truth, watch how critical we are of that person. Because if they make a hairline mistake, watch how fast someone is quick to jump on that person and try to
discredit every single word they said.
But when CNN comes out and they give you a story, this happened. This is breaking news.
You believe it
Did
automatically.
you see it?
Immediately believe it.
And on the deeper level, just like bouncing off what he said, They will literally lie to you for 30 years straight. No, we haven't been doing these things. We don't take part in those type of activities.
Literally.
Then 40 years later, CIA documents released. Here you go. It was true all along. Like, come on now.
Bro,
They don't
and
even advertise like that. They just
Yeah.
say it, and they don't even like say like new deal. They just got them met like
They just
yeah they
no, what
slide it,
he's
fool.
saying is that it's okay. Look, it's our job. Okay, our job. We have to take a responsibility. Us three, amongst other people, to report that, right? Because they're gonna throw it to the side and it might hit a little headline or something. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, at the same time, though, that was happening. Beyonce was doing the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, you saw it, but you're like, oh, Beyonce though.
At the same time,
feel me?
at the same time they was having press conferences telling you that alien invasions is the #1 threat to global security. They have councils, they have meetings. Please, just look it up. I told you it's my hashtag. Look it up. They meet about this. Then they have a Super Bowl. They meet about this.
So you're over here focused on that when the real stuff is going on. So whenever they're gonna do a release or something, they're like, oh, Super Bowl or the whatever is going on, they're gonna release something. Kanye, Diddy,
Damn,
whoever it is, you know what I mean? That's the world. But that's our response, and to the people out there, that's our responsibility. The ones that are in that position or in that mindset or have that voice, because y'all both have a great voice. I just want to let y'all know y'all got to keep doing what you're doing.
for sure, you
Glad that we
too.
connected.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Like, glad we connected because there's people out here who are supposed to connect, and that's the God. That's the higher power. Call what you want, who's going to connect people.
Exactly.
But it's our job to do what we're supposed to do our part. You know what I mean? And just, you get in these rooms, you do these things, you're like, oh, damn, there's bigger things to be done here. Continue to speak your voice. Continue to speak your voice and let the people know in the ways you guys do it, whatever your way is. And the world needs to hear from different faces, different voices, different people we can reach. Then you put it together and you can reach more people. You know what I'm saying? A connection only because people are willing to go and say what their thing, because like people can get offended and we say a lot of things that people get offended with tonight.
Yeah.
But I personally don't care like if you get offended, because I'm just me speaking the real. My
Facts.
real. I'm gonna say my truth. And if you don't like it, then then maybe we shouldn't be talking. You know what I mean? Obviously none of us got offended with anything said, but other people, if you get offended, then hey, it is what it is. We just said our truth, and it might not be your truth, and that's okay.
If you can't be yourself, then you live in a lie.
Exactly.
And why would you put somebody around you, have somebody in your space that limits you, that constricts you into living a lie?
Exactly. Like, I'm open-minded to everything. I don't really believe a lot of things. The reason why is because if I believe it, that means that there's no other way. I'm just right. If you believe a lot of things, just being real, the one last thing I'm saying, if you believe a lot of things and you are like stuck in your ways, you are programmed. You believe it so much that there's really no other way. You're done. You're finished. You're cooked. Like, you got to be able to be like, hey, look, I thought I knew it, but that shit made me wonder. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have that open type of mind, then you are an NPC.
Yeah.
like you are literally a programmed code. It's like, this is what it is. Like how a computer is like, it's a
error.
Command. It's an error. You know what I'm saying?
Anything
If
else
there's
you're gonna get
anything
error
that's an
message.
error is unacceptable. And then you're just NPC. Okay? So are you NPC? Well, then answer my question. Did we offend you?
And if you
You
feel
might be NPC.
and if you feel offended, the natural thing to do, if somebody slap you, slap them back. If you feel offended, defend yourself with the proper spiritual rebuttal. Defend yourself with righteous combat. If I offended you, the natural thing for you to do is defend yourself. So come at me with something scholarly, and let's get down to it.
Let's have a debate.
We're not gonna get down. We're gonna get up.
Yeah.
We're gonna raise.
Thanks. So before we get out of here, go and tell them where they can follow you at, where they can find you.
On Instagram, it's Zay Hefner. You can also catch me on TikTok, it's Zay Hefner. That's my name on the social media platforms. Tap in with your boy.
You know how I'm coming, man. Jon Wick at @1Jonovan, 1JON OVAN. You know I'm coming. And Anuki guys, shit, we run the galaxy, man.
If y'all want to see another episode, comment below. I mean, I feel like we definitely have to do another one for sure.
Facts.
Great episode.
Ever sure.
For sure.
We
All right. We'll see y'all on the next episode.
Yeah.
It's time to let it flow. It's time to let it flow.